attraction is just when you find the other person appealing.
Sex is a good thing, but it has laws attached to it.
There should be boundaries. I'm a child of God. I cannot do this. There should be rules.
Okay. Like practical steps, like let's get down to the real deal. How do we handle it?
The Bible must be our manual for living.
You should understand your partner.
Your pastor should be at the center of that relationship.
Don't meet in a private place where it's just the two of you. Quiet.
Alright. Hello everyone, welcome back. My name is Anubri Shade and we have a very special topic to discuss today. There are several things that are happening amongst would-be Christians right now, where some people believe that as Christians that are in a relationship, wanting to get married, maybe during courtship or dating, they believe that there shouldn't be physical attraction. But that's probably a very wrong route, because physical attraction is something that they advise that it's important with every relationship, including Christian relationships. So we're here to discuss why and how these things can be handled to avoid premarital sex. So I have very amazing people here with me, and I'll ask that they please kindly introduce themselves. Right, so who's going first?
Okay. Thank you so much for having me on this set. My name is MC Ujo Maliki.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for this opportunity to be part of this panel to discuss a very important issue that has been affecting our society for so long negatively. My name is Franklin Luafemi.
Alright, good to have you both here. Thank you so much for honoring the invitation, and we're going to have an amazing time discussing this subject. So I'd like to ask, what are your individual view or perspective on this subject of physical attraction in Christian relationships? Yeah, what are your different opinions? So let's start with the man first now. All right.
Thank you so much. Personally, this is a very important topic per se, because it has a lot to do with our society in particular. And if I would say anything, I would say that the moral standard of our society today has dropped a lot from what we knew when we were growing up. And there is no more value for the ingredients that makes life sweet and profiting. So the society has been broken. If I may say so, lawlessness has taken all over the place, and the church is not left. And being a Christian, we must engage in some very serious activities in order to make sure that we do not fall prey to some of these things. If not, we'll make a lot of mistakes. And when you meet an old man, the first thing the person tells you is advice, because they have a lot of experience and information that we, the younger ones, do not have. So, concerning physical attractions in a relationship, handling them, there are sets of rules we need to put together, and those rules are mostly biblical, because we are living in a Christian community, in a Christian-bound relationship, and we must observe to do everything that God has put in place for relationships to be handled properly. So one of them is that we should place ourselves in a situation where the Bible must be our manual for living every time, and to observe without omitting anything within. It is natural for a man to have a feeling to sleep with a woman. That feeling, God put it there. It was not given to us by the devil. That should be clear. Satan did not give us any feeling like that. God gave it to us. And for a man or a woman to feel, they use the word honey, is no sin. We should know that. And with that in mind, anytime it comes, we should not think it's demonic.
Yeah, of course.
We should think it's natural. We start from there. And when you think it's natural, now having the knowledge that is a natural phenomenon that has to occur in our bodies, we need to make sure that the constraints that has been put around the feeling to make it or to subdue it must be practiced or put in place. If not, we'll go out of band. So sex is a good thing, but it has laws attached to it. Until we observe those laws, we will continue falling into the sin of immorality. And you know, Apostle Paul was talking to the church in Corinth. He said, we have been bought with a price. Our body is a temple of God. So there are laws that we have to put together to make sure that we do not fall prey to these things. And talking about the Bible again, we're talking about the fruits of the Spirit. One of them, which is very important, is self-control. That a man that has come to the subjection of the law of Christ must be able to have self-control. And when you have self-control is not enough. There are systems you have to put around your life, around your workplace, around your business, around your relationship, around everything that you do that speak for themselves without you speaking. Because when we do much of speaking than acting, we will fall prey. And those systems are systems that must protect us. So if we know, for example, when you visit my house, you don't step into my bedroom. What you earn in my parlor. And when you visit me, there are ways you don't appear. For example, that is a system that has been put in place.
That's a good point.
Are we together?
We'll come back to that. Let me ask. Let's hear what you think about it. What's your idea?
I was already enjoying Brother Franklin. I just want to sit down and be enjoying because I know that it's already entering my body. Okay, so talking about the topic, handling physical attraction among Christian will be couples. Like Brother Franklin said, physical attraction is not it's not something that can be avoided. Of course, something attracted me to you in the first place. I mean, I'm talking about in a relationship now. So there is the attraction is there already. So now we're talking about how to handle it. This topic, like Sister Anu said, this topic has not been addressed. So we have a lot of mistakes. A lot of couples, a lot of in a courtship falling because they don't know how to handle it, because it's there. The attraction is actually there, but maybe should I say they just don't see it. Like they think we are Christian and we are strong and I can handle it myself. So it is after the falling that now be like, what went wrong? Like what happened? We thought we could do this, which was actually there. So like Brother Franklin said, that was one of the reasons what I want to say too, that there should be boundaries, in a relationship before we start the relationship. If it's actually this is relationship that is leading to marriage. It's not relationship that is just you people are just playing. Before we start the relationship, there has to be do's and don'ts as a Christian, because as a Christian, our life we don't do what we want to do. There's a rules we follow. Even apart from relationship now, even our personal life as a Christian, there are things we can do, there are things other people can do that we cannot do. We can't do them. So it's the same thing that applies to the relationship as a Christian. Because if this is the kind of life you live before as a Christian, that you have a discipline. Your life, there's a rule, there's a pattern you follow as a Christian. You know that okay, I'm a child of God. I cannot do this. So even when you are now in a relationship, the same thing you bring it to the relationship. You know that okay, sister so okay, well, thank you for accepting to be my, fiance or something.
Yeah.
Okay, now this relationship, this is what we are going to be doing, this is what we are not going to do. There should be boundaries.
Okay.
There should be rules.
Okay.
We have the word of God to follow also.
Yeah.
The word of God actually be the root and foundation of the relationship in the first place. So you know that, and in the word of God we have rules, and we have to follow the rules too. So
amazing. That's a good point. I'm actually even learning a lot already. All right, so I haven't heard our different perspectives now. I want to ask, is it wrong for physical attraction to be there in a Christian relationship? Of course, when we watch movies, we'll see these Nollywood movies or Hollywood, whatever the group, wherever they came from. When we watch these movies, we see when they say, okay, these people are in love. We see it in the way they like respond to each other and all of that. So okay, these people are physically attracted to each other. Okay, so would you say that it is wrong for Christian would-be couples to be physically attracted to themselves, or is it sinful for there to be physical attraction? So what do we think?
Personally, there is no challenge with that, because what you go in, for example, like a man, what you go in first is the beauty of a woman.
Okay.
The kind of woman you like.
Okay.
Maybe fair, maybe chubby, maybe slim. Okay. There is something physical that must first of all attract you to the woman before looking at any other thing that you will need.
Okay.
So physical attraction is one of the best things that you can see from a partner you want to be with.
Okay.
And it has never been a challenge.
Okay. If
you look around the world and you look at the lives of the supposed men of God that are making the globe, their wives are all beautiful women.
True.
So, my humble opinion.
Okay. All right. How about you?
Okay. Actually, physical attraction is not wrong. It's not wrong.
Okay.
And personally, I don't think it's wrong and it's not sinful.
Okay.
What if I want to look like what is physical attraction is for, like, physical attraction is just when you find the other person appealing. So
you've heard it. It's not wrong for you to be physically attracted to the person you're getting married to. So in order to or the person you're in a relationship with, as during courtship or dating, towards marriage, of course. So having discussed all of that, can we now establish what are the ways to handle physical attraction? So there are these two people that are physically attracted to each other, but they want to get married. Though before marriage, it's not the day you meet the person that you want to get married. There's a period of time before marriage, right? Maybe like a few months, or some people years. So what are the ways you think young Christian would-be couples can handle physical attraction? Like practical steps, like let's get down to the real deal. How do we handle it?
Okay, can I?
Yes, please.
Okay, so I think this is the goals of this discussion.
Yeah.
This is the main. So to me, let's talk about the practical. Because if you want to be realistic, you cannot be in a relationship with somebody for 5 years and expect it to just be. Because I remember when I wanted to. I don't know if I can put.
Yeah, of course.
I remember when I wanted to get married and. When I met my husband, one of the things that my pastor was like, my pastor was so emphasized on the fact that this relationship, it cannot be like 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. I'm not saying other people can't do it, but my pastor made it clear that there's nothing you are doing if relationship is defined in the first place. So my point is, the relationship has to be defined in the first place.
Okay.
You know that, okay, this relationship is towards marriage. Then after that, you set rules.
Okay.
Set boundaries. Okay, well, this is my sister. This is what we are going to be doing in this relationship, and this is what we are not going to be doing.
Okay.
And I think before you set that kind of rules, you understand your partner. Okay, in setting boundaries, but Brother Franklin mentioned something the other time. He was saying that when you are coming to visit him, there are things you should not wear.
Yeah.
Okay, if you know that your partner is someone that is all over, dovey. There are some ladies that are just all over. That kind of thing. You should know that, okay, when you are coming, don't wear this. Or if you know that the person is someone that cannot do without touching or clothes, don't meet. Maybe you should not meet in a private place.
Okay.
in setting boundaries, part of it is just that don't meet in a private place where it's just the two of you, quiet, and you're just there alone. To help each other, you should meet somewhere that is public and open. The fact that you are Christian, you are going to marry does not mean you should meet each other in your house or come to my house, go to your house. You should meet somewhere that is public. I think that's part of setting. There are a lot of rules to set though. So don't do this. Maybe when you are coming to my house, don't wear this. And when we come, this is what we are going to. This is what we are doing. There should be understanding in setting rules. Because if you go and tell if you tell some girls that don't wear this when you come, they might not understand. Like, what do you mean? Am I not coming to my friend's place? Why did you say I can't wear this? I can't wear this. But if you understand each other, and definitely the person too is rooted and grounded in the word of God, so it won't take it personal. In setting, there are some rules that they are straight and strict. So if the person knows the word of God, he'll be able to understand it and accept it.
Amazing. Thank you so much for that. So about you, sir?
I want to make one point clear and we'll get off this. We as human, our nature is rebellion. Our nature is rebellion, and if we are not guided by superior authorities, we will always break the law. That's why if you come into a particular place, there are laws. So you break them, there are penalties to pay. The first thing to do as Christian couples in a relationship, courtship, ready for marriage, the first and the most important rule is that your pastor should be at the center of that relationship. The moment your pastor becomes the center of that relationship, you know eyes are watching you.
True. It's accountability.
Eyes are watching you.
Okay.
Because eyes are watching you, you cannot fumble.
Can't do anyhow.
If you fumble, you will be held responsible. You know you will lose your husband to be or your wife to be. And you guys, you will try every possible means to wait the due day. That's why you see people they meet after 6 months they marry, because there is no way for them. They are eyes all over, so they want to do fast and thank you so much.
To avoid the stuff and not touch.
Thank you so much.
Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing your experience and your wealth of knowledge with us. Thank you so much. So you've heard it all, and I'm sure you've learned one or two things from all that we have said. So I'd like to thank you both so much for coming to the discussion. Thank you so much. God bless you. All right, so we'll see you some other time. Bye.
Bye.